Baseball. Live from Coors Field in Denver, FSN West 2 presents the Dodgers as they take on the Colorado Rockies. Hi, everybody, and a very pleasant Tuesday night to you. The Dodgers on a Rocky Mountain high. They've now won 9 straight on the road. Last time they did that, a 1970 ball club that finished second. The Dodger record, by the way, is 58-40. The last time they had that kind of a record, it was the World Championship year of 1988. Trying to keep it going, Odalis Perez will go out on the mound against Aaron Cook. And a warning, neither pitcher has gone more than 6 innings as an average. And at Coors Field, that's a long time to hang around. We'll be back with the lineup and the highlights right after this. About it at work. By Southwest Airlines, nonstop service to 59 destinations all across the country. By Gatorade, Gatorade Thirst Quencher, is it in you? And by Nissan and your local Nissan dealer. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the mile-high city of Denver. A lovely 72 degrees at game time. We had thunder and a couple of drops a while ago, but so far so good. And they have not uncovered the tarp, so we assume the word is good for the future. In the Dodger dugout is the skipper, Jim Tracy. And what made it news last night, he stayed in the Dodger dugout and sent Jim Colburn out to the mound to change a pitcher. Well, you know that was the first time. And what happened was Jim threw a disc or something in his back out and was in terrible shape. Doctors worked on his back last night, and it's still so sensitive that instead of perhaps taking a cab to the ballpark, Jim walked to the ballpark from the hotel because he was afraid if he got into the taxi cab, he could not get out of it. So the Dodger manager is hurting, well, the ball club has won 9 in a row, and here are the names he's penciled in on his batting card. Cesar Izturis, followed by Jason Worth and Paul LaDuca. Adrian Beltre hitting cleanup at third base. Milton Bradley in center field. Sean Green at first. Juan Encarnacion in right. Alex Cora will be at second base. Odalis Perez on the mound. And on the mound for the Colorado Rockies, Aaron Cook. He's a 25-year-old out of Fort Campbell, Kentucky. Big fella, 6'3", 200-pounder. Went to Hamilton, Ohio High School, just outside of Cincinnati. And to sum up his abilities, they say he has a Kevin Brown sinker. Well, that stands up upon close analysis. He has not allowed a home run in each of his last 4 starts. Cesar Izturis takes a strike, and the count 0-1. Izturis checking in, batting .297. 3 home runs, 38 runs batted in, went 0 for 5 last night. Aaron Cook comes back with a pitch missing inside, 1-1. Last March, Aaron Cook went into the rotation for the Rockies, but he couldn't hold the job, and they sent him out to AAA nearby Colorado Springs. Izturis fouls it off. He struggled upon his return and finished the season last year in the bullpen. He had an earned run average of 6 in his starts and an earned run average of 6 in relief. However, he has come back to pitch better, even though he has a so-so 4-4 record. The 1-2 pitch is high, and the count 2-2. One of the problems for young Aaron Cook, as it will be for just about every pitcher for Colorado, he is 0-4 at home. The 2-2 pitch, Izturis takes high, ball 3. In fact, his earned run average here in Colorado, the home of the run, his ERA is 6.8. A big outfield. The outfield is played deep. Fly balls drop in and fly balls go out of the ballpark. And the pitch is high, ball 4, and Cesar Izturis takes the walk. So with Izturis aboard, we can take a look at Colorado. A 2-time Gold Glover at first base in Todd Helton, a 7-time Gold Glover in right field in Larry Walker. One change with Gonzalez playing at second base. They sit Aaron Miles down. Clayton Castilla in left field with Preston Wilson out. Matt Holliday is starting out there. So now the batter is Jason Worth, struggling of late, hitting .287. Cook set at the belt, looks over at his Torres and works a strike, and the count 0-1. For Cesar Astures, he has stolen 14 out of 22, and Jason Worth checking with Glenn Hoffman, see if there might be a sign. Worth joined in last night with a couple of base hits and scored twice. 0-1 the count. Aaron Cook set, looks over his left shoulder, comes back to his hitter, swung on and missed, and the count 0-2. With Cook, you know you're going to get a sinker with anywhere from 94 to 97 mile an hour. He does have a splitter, a hard slider, and just a young fella at 25 learning his way. He spent, to give you an idea, about 5 years at Class A. Here's the strike 2 pitch to Jason Worth, and instead Aaron Cook backs off the rubber. No balls and 2 strikes. 5 years in Class A really gets your attention, and then after those 5 he went to Double-A, Triple-A, and to the big leagues. So Cook hands it his side, set, turns, throws to first, and his Torres jumps back on. In the last 3 starts turned in by Aaron Cook, he is 1-1 with a brilliant earned run average of 2.2. So he's tough, even though he does not have a great record. The strike 2 pitch coming up to Jason Worth, and that's swung on, foul tip, held by Todd Green, and down goes Jason Worth. So Worth strikes out, 1 away, and the batter will be Paul Lo Duca. Paul Lo Duca coming up, hitting .306. He had 9 home runs, 47 RBIs, had a couple of doubles last night and an RBI. The Dodgers looking at Cook for the 3rd time. Actually, they faced him 3. They're trying to get their 3rd decision against him. He lost to the Dodgers in Los Angeles when 6 innings allowed 2 earned runs. Then he beat the Dodgers here, allowing 3 runs. And then in Los Angeles went 7 and allowed only 1 earned and left in a tied up game. He's high to Lo Duca, 1 ball and no strikes. So Aaron Cook, a glimpse of the future for Clint Hurdle and a Rockies team that is 4 games under 500 at home, enjoying a reasonably good July, 14-9. Of course, the Dodgers in July are 19-4. Throw to first, not in time. The Rockies are usually a tougher ball club at home than on the road. They're 4 games under here. They haven't really had a bad record at home since 1999. 1 ball and no strikes to Paul Lo Duca. Cook ready. Here he comes. Paulie takes a sinker low, and the count 2-0. On deck, Adrian Beltre. Lo Duca, who ranks 2nd among National League players, whose primary position is catcher. He has 104 hits. He also has chimed in with 18 doubles and a triple. 2-0 the count. Cook out of a stretch. Here he comes, and it's hit into right field, but Larry Walker is there to make the catch, and holding on at first base, Cesar Astures. So Lo Duca tries to take a sinker, go the other way with it, flies to right, and the batter will be Adrian Beltre. Adrian Beltre came up in the 2nd inning last night, went to right field, and hit his 28th home run. In fact, last night, since he was seeing a lot of sinkers from Sean Estes and company, he was going the other way 4 of his 5 at-bats. He homered to right, flied to right, grounded to first, and grounded to second. Then the last time up in the 9th inning, he pulled the ball and hit a hopper to third. So we'll see now what Beltre does against the sinker ball specialist Aaron Cook. Adrian hitting .326, 28 home runs, 73 runs batted in. Out of a stretch goes Cook, comes with a fastball, a high chopper back to the box. Cook has it over to first, and that's that. No runs, no hits, a man left, and at the end of half an inning, Dodgers nothing, Rockies coming up. Dodgers failed to score in the first inning, and we'll take a look at the Colorado lineup as Sean Estes talks to tomorrow's pitcher Jeff Fassero. Here's the way the Rockies line up, with Luis Gonzalez at second, then Clayton, Helton, Castilla, and Walker. Holiday in left field, Burnitz in center, Green, and Aaron Cook. And leading off, Luis Gonzalez against Odalis Perez. Odalis with a record of 4-3 in his last start. He had no decision, his 11th of the year, by the way, in a game the Dodgers won 4-2. Lifetime, he is 5-3 against the Rockies. Lost his first start this year 4-2 against them. So he's pitched well without very many decisions. Luis Gonzalez takes a strike in the count 0-1. Luis is from Maracay in Venezuela. And of course, they had a lot of play here that he was the wrong Gonzalez when they were playing Arizona. The strike one pitch on the way is swung on and foul back, and the count 0-2. Gonzalez playing second base, but he can also play shortstop and third base. He could even play first base and right field, says Clint Hurdle. And he is hitting .241, giving Aaron Miles, the solid rookie, a rest. Odalis into the windup, and the strike two pitch very high, ball one. We opened up the broadcast by talking about Jim Tracy's back, and he'll be standing up in the dugout for quite a while. It also reminds us to send along our best wishes for a speedy recovery to Joe Lasorda, Tommy Lasorda's wife. The pitch outside. If I have my dates correct, Joe underwent back surgery this morning at St. Vincent's Hospital in Los Angeles. So much love and prayers for a speedy recovery. 2-2 the count to Luis Gonzalez. Odalis Perez into the windup, comes back with a fastball fouled away, and is still 2-2. Gonzalez is 5'11", 170-pounder, was originally signed by the Cleveland Indians. So Odalis Perez working on Gonzo, the super utility man. Gonzalez waiting at the plate, only 25 years old, swings and down he goes. So Gonzalez strikes out, one down. Let's take a look at the Dodgers with the leather, especially focus on Cesar Izturis. He's had 4 errors all year. You may remember he went 49 games without committing an error. So he's tops in the shortstop department with a fielding average of .990. Otherwise, you have Green, Cora, Beltre, Worth, Bradley, Encarnacion, Perez, and LaDuca. And while we are talking about defense, the Dodgers still lead the major leagues in fielding percentage. Odalis working on Royce Clayton, who chops it foul outside of third and down the line, and the count 0-1. Royce hitting .287 in the, wow, how the years go by. He was a first-round pick by the Giants out of high school. He went to St. Bernard High School in Playa del Rey, and here he is tonight in game number 1700. So a veteran shortstop now. Royce Clayton, right-hand batter, takes high, and the count 1-1. Royce was born in Burbank. Last we checked, makes his home in Scottsdale. Originally signed to play with USC, but then the Giants offered a sizable bonus and he went pro. He lifts one down the right field line, curling foul, and that will go back into the stands out of play. The breeze that we have, which had been blowing straight left to right, a little bit of it is blowing slightly in from back of left field, and I think that kind of helped to push that ball back into the stands. So 1-2 the count to Royce Clayton. The veteran waiting at the plate. Odalis looks down to get a sign from LaDuca. Now Odalis ready, and the 1-2 pitch coming up to Royce Clayton. Fastball away, ball 2. Colorado figures prominently in the Dodger battle to get atop the heap. Dodgers 3.5 in front of San Diego. Still 2 more games with the Rockies, Todd Helton and company, while the Giants are scrimmaging in San Diego. Here's the 2-2 pitch on the way, and Clayton fouls it back. Later on in September, the Dodgers will have the same problem in a sense that they are faced with now. You come to Colorado to play a 4-game series. Dodgers last night started out by using 5 pitchers. So you do that every night for 4 games, and then you go to San Diego and your pitching is depleted. They're faced with that possible prospect in September. Clayton, a ground ball, great pick by Adrian Beltre to throw him out. Wow. On a ball hit to his gloved side, Adrian, with magic in that glove, comes up with it and takes a base hit away from Royce Clayton. That thing looked like surely it was going to be into left field, and a full turn and an accurate throw. 2 down, and Todd Helton coming up. So Beltre dazzling both with the glove and with the bat, and now Todd Helton. To conclude the thought, in September the Dodgers come here yet again as Helton looks at ball 1. September 17, 18, and 19 the Dodgers are here, and then they go on the road to play 3 in San Diego and 3 in San Francisco. So the Rockies figure prominently indeed. The 1-0 pitch is swung on and missed, and the count 1-1. Jim Tracy fully cognizant of the fact somehow or other you have to use your pitches sparingly to keep them fresh, and he would love to get more than 6 innings from Odalis Perez, which is no easy trick here. The 1-1 fastball is low, ball 2, 2-1. Kaz Ishii can tell you all about how tough it is here. Ishii came in with an ERA of 8, and they pummeled him. So Kaz, another rough start against Colorado. 2-1 pitch to Todd Helton. Breaking ball hit foul down the left field line, out of play. Helton, among other things, last night joined the fun. He hit his 20th home run of the year. Todd, a remarkable player and so consistent. He's had 20 or more home runs in each of his first 7 full seasons in the big leagues. Todd waiting. 2-2 the count. Into the windup goes Odalis, comes back with a fastball, whacked to right, low line drive, bangs off the boards, foul, and so Helton will come back. That'll give us a chance to call off the dimensions here at Coors Field, starting in the left field corner. It's 347 down the left field line, falling away to 390, 415 to straightaway center, 375 to the power alley in right center, and 350 down the right field line. And you know what? It's not big enough. 2-2 the count. Here comes Odalis, and a breaking ball is slapped the other way, slicing down the left field line, foul, and out of play. So Helton, a line drive foul to right, a slicing fly ball foul to left, and he's still up there, batting .336. So Odalis Perez, in looking at his numbers, Odalis 18 starts, 118 innings. A little bit more than 6, but not 7. Same story, exactly 6 for Aaron Cook. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Odalis ready and delivers. Breaking ball just off the corner. Ball 3. So a full count to Helton. Todd Helton out of Knoxville, Tennessee, 31 years old, the 20th of August. Went to school at the University of Tennessee. Rockies' first round pick. He was also a fine quarterback. 3-2 pitch. Odalis delivers, fouled away. Todd Helton surrendering the quarterback reins to Peyton Manning, concentrating on baseball, and it's just gotten better and better. He's hit as many as 49 home runs for the Rockies, and he has hit as high as 372. 3-2 the count. Into the windup goes Odalis. Fastball whacked to right center. Back goes Encarnacion, but only to watch it go out. 1-0 Colorado. So Todd Helton drives out his 21st home run of the year, and the Rockies take a 1-0 lead. Fastball at the knees out over the plate, and that meant adios for sure. Heldon winning the battle after 9 pitches, and he buries it way back in deepest right center field. Well, we had 5 home runs last night, and this is just the beginning as Vinny Castilla checks in, takes an off-speed pitch for a strike, and the count 0-1. Vinny Castilla has homered 6 times since the All-Star break. Dodgers know all about it. He's burned them. And did he ever hit one last night? He hit it over the center field fence, and it landed in the waterfall 447 feet away. You talk about a splashdown. That was the home run, his 22nd. He hit in the 6th inning last night. Then he takes inside, and the count 1-1. The home run as calculated here for Todd Helton, they say traveled 442 feet. That's why we said those sizable dimensions are not big enough. 2-1 pitch off speed and gets the corner, and the count 2-2. So the veteran Vinny Castilla can still pop him with the best. Of course, 1 year with the Rockies he hit 46. Now he's come back for his 2nd tour of duty. Here's the 2-2 pitch on the way. Fastball, roll to the right side. Cora can wait to get a hop and then throws him out. But for Colorado, Todd Helton, one swing of the bat, a fastball. He drives it out over 440 feet, and it's 1-0 Colorado. Todd Helton's home run gives the Rockies a 1-0 lead. Milton Bradley will start off the second with a foul bunt, and the count 0-1. So Bradley, Green, and Encarnacion. Milton last night had 2 singles, a double, and a walk. So he checks in hitting .288, 11 home runs, 45 runs batted in. Aaron Cook rocks and turns, a young right-hander deals, and a ground ball to short. Nice hop for Royce Clayton to throw him out. Bradley, a threat even on a routine ground ball. He wasn't letting out. He was running hard to first base. 1 away. As we go into the ball game, the Dodgers continue to hold on to a 3.5 game lead over San Diego. Giants have fallen back to 4.5. Colorado 16.5, and Arizona out at sight at 27.5 games back. So now 1 out, and here is Sean Green. Aaron Cook ready and deals off the plate, ball 1. I was telling some of the guys before the game tonight, there are so many rumors going around about trades or no trades. I couldn't help but thinking about when I was a real young guy. As Green takes ball 2, I worked in the General Post Office in New York slotting mail, and it was during the war, and that's pretty dull, just standing there putting letters in the slot. Here's the 2-0 pitch on the way to Green, and he lifts one foul off third. Castillo, who was overshifted, comes over, but it's in the stands, and the count 2-1. So anyway, we would get into baseball arguments and whatever, and finally one night while slotting mail, this was about 1942, one of us said, let's start a rumor. Said, okay, let's start a rumor, and we did. Green waiting now, Cook ready, and the 2-1 pitch on the way, swung on, ground ball right where Castillo is playing, in the hole at short to throw him out, 2 down. So the rumor we started was a rumor naturally that everybody wanted to hear. The rumor was, hey pal, Hitler died, pass it on. Now this went through, we were like 4 floors below the city. Now we worked to midnight, 1 o'clock, and then there was a break. And we took an elevator back up to the first floor to go out to get some lunch at midnight, whatever you want to call it. And there was an older gentleman sitting on a chair guarding the side part of the building. Encarnacion takes a strike. And as I'm walking out, he said, hey, Red, get me a paper. I just heard Hitler was killed in a car crash. And that is the absolute truth. Strike 1 pitch, a chopper slowly to Clayton. Royce is going to get them all. It's Royce indeed. 3 ground balls. Dodgers done in the second. And at the end of an inning and a half, 1-0 Rockies. Colorado leading the Dodgers 1-0 on a home run by Todd Helton. who, by the way, has now hit 5 home runs against Odalis Perez in his career. Larry Walker against him is 0 for 12. So what a difference. Walker waiting, Odalis delivers, and it's low, ball 1, 1-0. Larry Walker hitting .338, half a dozen home runs, 18 runs batted in. Now the 1-0 pitch on the way, on the corner for a strike, 1-1. And of course, Larry Walker, well, they're talking about him going to the Florida Marlins. They're talking about him playing first base somewhere. Remember, Hitler's dead. And the pitch is fouled away, and the count 1-2. One thing Walker has been quoted as saying, if they're going to trade me, I want to know now. I don't want a last-minute notice. 1-2 to Walker with Matt Holliday on deck. The pitch to Larry is swung on and fouled away, and he barely got a little of it. So 1-2 the count. Dodgers and the Rockies. The Dodgers with a 19-4 record in July. Going back for the last 30 years. That would be the best single record in the month, including some very good ball clubs. The 1-2 pitch, Walker takes low. I'm talking Cardinals, White Sox, Reds, Braves, and Mets. Of course, the Reds won 24 games in July back in 1973, but they also lost 7 games. So we'll see about the Dodgers here on the 27th. 19-4. 2 balls and 2 strikes the count. Here comes Odalis, big overhand curveball inside, ball 3. For the Dodgers, been up and down. April to the middle of May, they were averaging about 5 runs a game. Then the middle of May till the end of June, they really tailed off, averaging about 3. Walker looks at strike 3 called, and down he goes yet again against Odalis Perez. 0 for 13 in his career. On Saturday, August 7th, prior to the 7-10 game with the Phillies, you can watch the Stars from the outfield grass, the Hollywood Stars celebrity softball game. Rob Lowe, Jamie Kennedy, Jimmy Kimmel, George Lopez, among the many scheduled to appear. The gates will open at 5:10, so come on out early. Visit Dodgers.com or give us a call. Meanwhile, the pitch to Matt Holliday is banged up the middle for a base hit. So Holliday, an impressive looking athlete, a great high school quarterback. He's 6'4", 235, and 24 years old. He already has 10 home runs in limited play, and now he singles. Holliday's problem is trying to find a job, because when you have Preston Wilson, Jeremy Burnitz, and Larry Walker, how do you play in the outfield? So here is Jeremy Burnitz. He has homered in 4 straight games. He has Holliday at first. Sean Green being plagued by the setting sun, and the pitch way inside, ball 1 to Burnitz. When the sun sets in the west here, it really means in the baseball park it's going to set right in the first baseman's eyes. And for Sean Green, wearing the shades, but he's holding his glove up, trying to get additional sight. For the base runner, he has to squint a little bit as well. Todd Helton would certainly know how to handle it. Burnitz, a long fly ball to left. Work to the wall. It is gone. Jeremy Burnitz has homered in 5 straight games. Odalis has now given up 15 home runs, and the Rockies lead 3-0. So Odalis Perez throws his hands up in disgust as the ball went back into the left field seats. For Jeremy Burnitz, who continues to wear out the opposition, his 25th home run. Odalis shaking his head as if to say anywhere else it's an out. But as Jeremy said last night, when someone said good living here, he said good hitting here. And the batter now is Todd Green. He takes a strike, and the count 0-1. So after Walker struck out, Holliday singled, and Burnitz hits it out. For Burnitz, he's now 3 for 6 with 2 home runs against Perez. Strike 1 pitch is low. So if Odalis is going to survive this game, number one, he's going to have to get some support. And number two, he's going to have to find a way to put Burnitz, Castilla, and Helton on board without getting crushed. The 1-1 pitch coming up to Green. There's a fly ball down the left field line. It's hooking foul and goes back into the stands, out of play. 1-2 the count. The Rockies are drawing a little over 30,000 a game. Last night, coming back off the road, they drew 24-7, kind of a Monday night blues. We'll see about tonight, but the Rockies are out in front 3-0. The 1-2 pitch, fastball off the plate, and they count 2-2. Last night, of course, the Dodgers led 3-0. The Rockies led 4-3. The Dodgers then tied 4-4. Then the Dodgers led 7-4. Then the Rockies tied at 7-7, and the Dodgers finally won it 9-7. So 3-0 in the second inning is, I guess, nothing more than a challenge here for Adrian Beltre and company. Todd Green working on a 3-2 count. Right hand hitting catcher. Into the windup goes Odalis, and there's a chopper up along third to Beltre, who backhands and fires to first in plenty of time. So that's the second out. And the batter now will be Aaron Cook. So home runs are the story, and of course for the Colorado Rockies that figures. Jeremy Burnitz has homered in 5 straight games. He has 7 home runs since the All-Star break. The pitch to Cook, a hopper into center for a base hit. Another strange thing about playing a game in Colorado's Coors Field. Last night, the starting pitchers, Sean Estes and Kaz Ishii, went 4 for 4. Each pitcher had 2 hits, and now Aaron Cook singles, and the batter will be Luis Gonzalez. So rough treatment for Odalis Perez. 2 singles and a home run. He's down 3-0. And the batter, Gonzalez, who struck out in the first inning. The little utility man takes off the plate. Ball 1, 1-0. 3 runs, 4 hits for Colorado. No runs, no hits for the Dodgers against Aaron Cook. Now the 1-0 pitch swung on, popped in the air, foul off to the right, and will go back into the crowd, out of play. 1 ball and 1 strike. So Gonzalez waiting at the plate. Luis, originally a free agent, signed by Cleveland in 1997 and picked up from the Indians in December. 1-1 pitch on the way. Odalis fastball. That's going to be looped into center for a base hit. Cook will stop at second as Bradley brings it back in. So Odalis Perez is being pushed around. He has given up 3 singles, a home run in this inning, 2 home runs in the game, and Jim Coburn going out to try and help him out. And the batter will be Royce Clayton. One of the things I think happens to a pitcher, whether it's visiting or Colorado, I think you get a little disheartened. And I think the home run to left field by Jeremy Burnitz really shook up Odalis Perez. And looking at his body language, he threw his hands up in the air in annoyance, as if to say, I make a good pitch, it's an out anywhere else, and here it's a 2-run home run. He has also labored in the inning. This pitch he's about to make to Royce Clayton will be the 21st pitch he's made in the inning. So Odalis Perez working now on Royce Clayton, and the veteran shortstop takes low at his ankles. Ball 1, 1-0. The much traveled Clayton. He spent about 5 years with the Giants, then 3 with the Cardinals, 3 with the Rangers, 2 with the White Sox, 1 with the Brewers, and now the Rockies. Royce hitting .286, so he's having a good solid year. Perez trying to get out of the inning. O'Donnell's ready and deals. Breaking ball swung on and missed, and the count 1-1. For Royce Clayton, he has committed 8 errors so far this year and got a lot of work. Remember, in the second inning he handled all 3 ground balls. 2 on 2 out, and of course it is important for O'Donnell to get Clayton because on deck is Todd Helton. O'Donnell's at the belt. The left-hander ready and deals. Fastball hit in the air to center, but this one is playable. Bradley backtracks to make the catch, so at least he'll not have to look at Helton with anybody on base. But for the Rockies, they get 2, and at the end of 2, lead the Dodgers 3-0. Right off the bat, they're going to have to hit their way back into the game. It's 3-0 Colorado. Aaron Cook, after walking his tourist to lead off the game, has retired 6 in a row. The sinker's working. He's had 4 ground ball outs, and now Alex Cora will start it off. Cook delivers high, ball 1, 1-0. We mentioned earlier that Aaron Cook spent 5 years in the minor leagues learning his trade. Cora, meanwhile, a hard worker, hitting .299. The 1-0 pitch in for a strike. Last year, Aaron Cook, while coming out of his windup, got into a bad habit of kicking his foot slightly towards third base instead of striding directly to the plate. Ground ball to the hole. Going back is Clayton. Backhands, throws, gets him. Though he's handled 4 consecutive ground balls, has Royce. 1 away. And the batter now will be O'Donnell Perez. So anyway, once they've discovered that misdirected movement, the fact that it was diminishing the power of his pitches, they worked hard on it to make sure he would stride towards the plate. Boy, when you talk about little things mean a lot, to be a pitcher is indeed true. O'Donnell takes a strike, and the count 0-1. O'Donnell has 3 hits, hitting less than 100. Cook rocks and turns the strike 1 pitch, and that's lined to center. Coming over to get it is Burnett. So Perez, line drive to center. Burnett starts to run the ball back to the infield. Maybe as he's talking to Larry Walker, I'm not sure whether he forgot how many outs there were. Maybe still thinking about the fact he's homered in 5 straight. You wouldn't blame him on that. So 2 down, and Cesar Izturis coming up. Though Izturis walked in the first inning. Cesar checking in at the plate. 3-0 Colorado, and the pitch in for a strike, and the count 0-1. In looking at the string of assists for Royce Clayton, we realized we were decoyed by position. The strike 1 pitch is going to be hit into left center for a base hit. Izturis turns and holds. Burnett comes up with it cleanly. We are talking about how O'Donnell Perez sat on the bench watching the Dodgers hit ground balls to Royce Clayton. Well, Sean Green hit a ground ball to shortstop, but the infield was swung so far around it was Vinny Castillo who was in the hole at short to throw him out. So like real estate, territory is everything. O'Donnell Perez, after flying to center, a busy Royce Clayton, Izturis at first, and Jason Worth trying to help the Dodgers get back. 3-0 Rockies, 3rd inning, 2 out. Aaron Cook deals, good fastball, and the count 0-1. He had 91 on the gun. 3 runs, 5 hits for the Rockies, including 2 home runs. The Rockies have homered 130 times this year. Dodgers doing pretty well. They've hit 114. Strike 1 pitch to Jason Worth. Another good fastball at 92, and the count 0-2. So Jason is struck out in the first inning, in a hole right now. No balls and 2 strikes. One other thing about O'Donnell Perez, he is really going to have to work on his pitch count. 26 pitches in the first inning and 23 pitches in the second. That's way too many. Here's the strike 2 pitch to Jason Worth, and he hits a slow roller up the middle, and it's fielded in a collision with Clayton and Gonzalez, and there's no play, and Royce Clayton is hurt. Luis Gonzalez went beyond the line, and it appears as if Clayton has hurt his knee. So Gonzalez has the ball. The Dodgers have a hit, and Clayton has a bad knee. So over hustling for a backup player. That's the case as far as Gonzalez, and Luis Gonzalez is also down. A lot of times you have seen outfielders collide. This ball was directly up the middle, and it looked like it was Gonzalez' play, but he strayed so far that Clayton went over him and landed heavily, and both men are still down. Clayton on his back and Gonzalez sitting up. Though I think that Clayton hurt his knee maybe with the shoulder of Luis Gonzalez. So the Dodgers meanwhile have runners at first and second, and Paul Lo Duca will be the batter. But right now they're working on Royce Clayton's left leg. Luis Gonzalez is just sitting down. Now they're helping him to his feet. So both men really shook up on a collision back at second base. So they are looking at the left knee of Royce Clayton. Now he's adjusting the stockings and the baseball pans, and he is slowly getting up, albeit gingerly. Come to think of it, when you see a play like that, you wonder why you don't see it more often. I mean, Alex Cora and Cesar Izturis so often go flashing, not just like ships at sea. I mean, they really cut it close in pursuit of the ball. And in this case, with Izturis looking on, they're working on both Royce Clayton and Luis Gonzalez. So timeout here for the moment in the third. It appears as if Clayton is okay and will stay in the game, and they are now talking to Gonzalez, who hasn't picked up his glove yet. He's just kind of trying to walk it off. So second baseman Gonzalez crosses that imaginary line directly behind second base and collides with the shortstop Royce Clayton. They're still waiting to make sure he's okay. When you are back up and you don't get very many chances to play, after all, Aaron Miles is doing a great job. The young second baseman is hitting .306 and has played in most of the games. He's been in 78. Meanwhile, Gonzalez in and out of the lineup, and quite a collision. Well, as we said, Clayton is okay after a spectacular flight through the air, and now Gonzalez has reassured his teammates and his skipper that he's okay. So the Dodgers have runners at first and second on a freak play, 2 down, and Lo Duca all of a sudden represents the tying run. Lo Duca has 9 home runs, and looking at his work against right-hander Cook, he is 4 for 11 and then flied to right field in the first inning. So Lo Duca waiting, 2 on, 2 out, 3-0 Rockies, top of the third. Cook set at the belt, looks at the runners, and the right-hander deals. Fastball on the inside corner for a strike, and the count 0-1. He hit 92 on the gun. Lo Duca just turned and looked at Bruce Dreckman, didn't say anything. Now he does. 0-1 the count. Paul back up and waiting. Izturis at second, Worth at first, 2 out. Now the strike one pitch coming up to Paul Lo Duca. Aaron Cook deals, and that's a slicing fly ball going down the right field line, but landing foul by plenty, and Kangaroos back up into the stands, and the count 0-2. So Izturis goes back to second, and Worth goes back to first. The Dodgers with 114 home runs this year. They hit 124 all last year. And since we were talking about the Rockies' ability to hit home runs, the Dodgers now have homered in 17 of the last 19 games. So Lo Duca waiting, no balls, 2 strikes. Cook out of a stretch. Aaron checking the runners, and the 1-2 pitch to Paul Lo Duca. Right-handed deal, swung on, little ground ball to Helton. He will underhand to Cook coming over, and that's it. Dodgers get 2 hits because of a collision. Gonzalez and Clayton are okay, and at the end of 2.5. 3-0 Colorado as we go to the bottom of the 3rd inning. Todd Helton has had a large hand in the scoring. For instance, last night, Helton against Kansas City hit one upstairs to right field. There was no doubt about it. And then tonight, against left-hander Odalis Perez, he hit one over 440 feet back into the bullpen. So Helton, who really gives Odalis Perez a bad time, he has 11 hits and 5 home runs against him. Odalis has to think of something, and the left-hander works it inside. Ball 1. Helton, by the way, very consistent, hitting better than .300 against lefties and right, hitting better than .313 against left-hand pitching. He swings, and it's a drive to right field down the line. Encarnacion in the corner, can't get it. It'll bounce away. Helton takes a look. Sandy Alomar waves him to third. Cora's throw to third. He is in there. Juan Encarnacion, running parallel to the right field wall, got all the way down into the corner, but couldn't catch up to it. For Odalis Perez, small consolation that he kept the ball in the park, but a triple instead of a home run. Helton's first triple of the year, right down the line, and landing and rattling off the boards with Encarnacion in pursuit. He did his job. He hit Alex Cora, who relayed, but Helton was in there. So Helton with a triple and a home run. Dodger infield is back, and here's Vinny Castilla trying to pick him up, and he pops it up instead. Green angles back, calling, waiting, makes the catch. Helton holds, and Sean one-hops it into LaDuca. So Castilla pops it up, 1 away, and the batter now will be Larry Walker. Hard to say that anybody could use Larry Walker as an escape hatch, and yet that's exactly what Odalis Perez is going to try to do. Walker struck out in the 2nd inning. He does not have a hit in 13 at-bats in his career against Perez, but he is one mean hombre up there with that bat. Now the Dodger infield comes halfway. Walker waiting. Odalis set, ready, and fires, and it's whacked to right. If it's fair, it's gone. It's going to go foul. 0-1 the count to Larry. He has a half a dozen home runs and 18 runs batted in. Of course, when you're pitching to Walker, you're always thinking home runs. Larry hit 49 here 7 years ago. Last year tailed off with injuries, hit 16. Strike 1 pitch, curveball, swung on and missed. That was the pitch that struck him out his first at bat in the 2nd inning. So Helton triples, Castilla pops it up, and Odalis has it count 0 balls and 2 strikes on Larry Walker. Walker waiting, knows all about RBIs. He's had as many as 130 in his career. The strike 2 pitch coming up to the left-hand batter. Curveball down and away. Ball 1. 1-2. So Paul LaDuca shuffling the cards behind the plate, trying to make sure that one doesn't get away. Odalis has 1 wild pitch. So Walker waiting. 3-0 Rockies, but they have a runner at third with 1 out. Odalis set again. Walker waiting, and the 1-2 pitch to Larry is low. Ball 2. 2-2. Larry Walker will be 38 in December. Has a troublesome groin that kept him out of many games, and he's still taking treatment, trying to get Helton home from third. 2-2 pitch coming up. Odalis ready. Here he comes. Swung on and missed. He has not only struck out Walker again, Larry Walker is 0 for 14 in his career against Odalis Perez, a reason for him to shake his head. So be sure to catch the Southern California Sports Report tonight at 10 on FS West 2 for all today's sports action, including complete Dodger coverage, and 980 KFWB, the postgame show with Ross Porter and Rick Monday. 2 down, and here is Matt Holliday. Odalis deals, Holliday swings and misses, and the count 0-1. Matt Holliday out of Stillwater, Oklahoma, went to Stillwater High School, a 7th round pick back in '98. Looks all the way like an athlete, 6'4", 235. Perez set, checks, ready, and comes back 0-1, and that's very high, backhanded by LaDuca, and the count 1-1. When Matt Holliday was in high school at Stillwater, he was rated the 2nd best high school quarterback in the country. His father is the Oklahoma State and then University of Texas baseball coach. 1-1 pitch to Big Matt, taken a little high, ball 2, 2-1. His dad played in the Pirate organization. Matt passed up the chance of playing football and baseball at Oklahoma State and signed with the Rockies. So Helton at third with 2 out. 2-1 pitch coming up. Odalis deals, down and away, ball 3. On deck, no rest for the weary. Jeremy Burnitz. Jim Tracy, who can honestly say, oh my aching back. He is not able to sit down. That back's killing him. 3-1 the count to Matt Holliday. Odalis ready, and the 3-1 pitch. Curveball, pop foul off to the right, out of play, and the count 3-2. For Holliday, he has hit as many as 16 home runs in the low minors in the Sally League, but they think he has everything. He's a natural leader, great athletic ability, and just starting out. He has a brother, Josh, in the Blue Jays organization, who plays first base. 3-2 pitch to Matt Holliday is low, ball 4. So Odalis now has runners at first and third, and here comes Burnitz. Burnitz is 3 for 6 with 2 home runs against Odalis Perez. First and third, 2 out, 3rd inning, and the Dodgers trying desperately to keep it a game. 3-0 Colorado. Odalis, left foot on the rubber, looks into LaDuca. Paulie wigwagging a couple of signs out, and Burnitz waiting. Big left-hand batter. And Odalis delivers big roundhouse curveball up and in, ball 1. 1-0 the count to Jeremy Burnitz. Jeremy Burnitz, 6-footer, 210. He's 35 years old, born in Westminster, California. 1-0 pitch on the way, curveball, a big swing and a miss, and they count 1-1. Well, Jeremy could certainly tell Matt Holliday what he missed. Jeremy Burnitz went to Oklahoma State, the school that Holliday declined to attend, instead turning to pros. 1 ball and 1 strike. Burnitz waiting. Here comes Odalis. Slow curveball in for a strike. 1-2. Remember, Odalis made 26 pitches in the first inning, 23 pitches in the 2nd inning. So he is spending a lot of pitching dollars, and he's only in the 3rd inning. He's already made 17 pitches. This is the 18th pitch, instead a throw to first. So Odalis Perez in constant trouble and paying the price. 1-2 the count to Jeremy Burnitz, waiting for the 18th pitch of the inning. Helton, who tripled, is at third. Holliday, who walked at first, 2 out. Now the 1-2 pitch on the way, swung on and missed, strike 3. What a bit of pitching to get Castillo to pop up, strike out Walker and Burnitz, and keep Helton at third. But of course it's still 3-0 Colorado. 3-0 Colorado, but as far as the Dodgers are concerned, it could be a lot worse. Here's our Aflac trivia question. Clint Hurdle is the Rockies' 4th manager. Can you name the first 3? Think about it. We'll give you the answer in a little while. Clint doing a good job in a ball club that's in flux. Old and very young. Adrian Beltre to start it off. Foul ball. 0-1 to Adrian, batting .325. Hit back to the box in the first inning. Boy, he has played so very, very well. Bone chips in the ankle. Little nubber back to Cook. That sinker of his is really working. The Dodgers are killing a lot of worms here in Coors Field. 1 out. Boy, anytime your name is mentioned in the same breath with Kevin Brown on your sinker, you know you've really got a dandy. It took him a long time. Again, 5 years in Class A. That's a lot of time. But here he is with 1 out. Bradley grounded out in the second inning. Ground ball by Castilla down the line over to get it Holiday. So Bradley a single to left field on the ground. In fact, the Dodgers have hit 2 fly balls so far, and we have 1 out in the 4th inning. You got to get the ball in the air here in order to pile up the runs. Rockies can tell you all about that. Here's Sean Green. Green hit a ball and we just automatically put shortstop because he hit it in that area, but that's where Vinny Castilla is. They are overshifted so much on Sean. So Castilla is in the hole, and Royce Clayton is way over to his left with one eye on Luis Gonzalez. Milton Bradley has stolen 11 bases, 11 out of 17. Maybe just trying to give Cook a bad time. And that's going to be lined to left, and it will be caught by Matt Holliday. And back to first goes Bradley. So Green hits it hard and lines out to left field. And the batter will be Juan Encarnacion. Sean is probably wondering, why was that left fielder where he was? But that was the instructions. They swing the infield towards first, but they had the left fielder shading him to the line, and it paid off. Of course, that's the idea when you're facing a sinker ball pitcher. You're not going to try to pull it. You either go up the middle or the other way. Bradley went the other way and singled. Green goes the other way and lines out. And now Encarnacion. Juan's average now has dipped to 236. And a little ground ball to Clayton. He shovels to Gonzalez, and that's it. So the big play, the positioning of Matt Holliday in left field. No runs to hit a man left. It's still 3-0 Rockies. 3-0 Colorado, bottom of the 4th inning. Remember our Aflac trivia question about Clint Hurdle and the managers here at Colorado. Clint is the 4th. Who are the other 3? The first 3, and they are in order: Don Baylor, then Jim Leland, and Buddy Bell. Todd Green will start it off with a high fly ball into deep left center field, and gone. Odalis Perez has served up 3 home runs in 3 innings plus. He is down 4-0, and he is due to bat second when the Dodgers hit in the 5th inning. So Todd Green hits it out. That would be his 8th home run, 27 runs batted in. Odalis has served up 3, and he knew it right away. You watch the body action. Oh, he just bends over. He knew he made a mistake, as opposed to the home run by Burnitz to left, where he felt he made a good pitch and it was hit out. So now Helton, Burnitz, and Green have home runs, and Aaron Cook up there, 1 ball and no strikes. So Perez now has suddenly allowed 16 home runs this year. Perez should take care of that. Took a lot of time. 1 out. Looking at home run balls allowed by the Dodgers, how'd you like to be Jose Lima? Lima came here leading the Dodgers in home runs allowed with 18, and he's pitching here tomorrow night. Tim Wallach, accustomed to teaching home runs, not watching them. And now the leadoff man is Luis Gonzalez. Takes a strike. I guess you could call him a bang-up second baseman, but he almost knocked Royce Clayton out of the game for sure. Fouled away. Luis Gonzalez, he's 5'11" and 170. Clayton is 6 feet 185. Oh, and 2 the count. Ball 1. Well, we mentioned earlier about the problems playing in Colorado and then going on to an important series. Dodgers leave here and they have the weekend in San Diego. That's going to go down the right field line. Fair ball. Gonzo is on his way for at least 2, and he will stop at second. So we're in the 4th inning, and the Rockies have hit for the cycle. They have a couple of singles, they have a double, a triple, and 3 home runs. And Jim Coburn going out to the mound with Royce Clayton coming up. Not a ball thrown in the Dodger bullpen. Sometimes a visiting manager, and certainly a visiting manager involved in a pennant race, will have to make a tough decision. He'll have to make a decision. The old story, son, I'm tired, but you're going to have to take one for the club. I can't keep burning up all my pitchers. Well, you have Perez due to bat second in the 5th inning. Jim Tracy having used 5 pitchers yesterday. Giovanni Carrara is going to get up, and unless the Dodgers do something, Giovanni might be pitching for quite a while tonight. That's a cinch. Somebody has to give a lot of innings. So Adolis Perez being roughed up. Fresh from quite a fine inning in the 3rd. Remember how well he pitched in the 3rd. The bunt by Clayton. He is hit by the batted ball, but in the batter's box, so it's just strike 1. I mean, that was a pretty good exhibition, wasn't it, in the 3rd inning? Todd Helton triples, and he got Castilla to pop up, struck out Walker, and struck out Burnitz. But in the 4th inning, first thing he does, give up the home run to Green, and then a double of Gonzalez. So it's been a tough night for Adolis. 4-0 Rockies, 4th inning. Add to that the fact the Dodgers have only 3 hits, and one of them was because of a collision around second base. And that's line to Worth, who came in and goes back, and Gonzalez started and returns to second. 2 down. And here comes that man again, Todd Helton. I'm sure Adolis Perez figures Helton bats every inning. Todd Helton is 12 for 28 against Adolis. 5 home runs. You know, that's okay. And I'll say to the Bank of America, that's nice, but I don't agree. We put that up again so people can look. I mean, Todd Helton plays in the Mile High City. Are you telling me he's right up there with Lou Gehrig, Ted Williams, and Babe Ruth? 0-1. In there. 0-2. Dallas Perez trying to get as tough a hitter as there is in the league as far as he's concerned. 0-2 to Todd. Look out. 1-2 the count to Todd Helton. Another thing I was just thinking about, why, I guess first the fact that he has the tremendous advantage of playing half his games here where the ball carries so well. You don't want to ask Todd Helton what he's hitting in Dodger Stadium. When he was at Dodger Stadium, his career batting average at Dodger Stadium was .210. So how can you possibly link that with Babe Ruth? Oh well. 1-2. Fastball fouled away. The first report out of San Diego, the Giants take a 2-0 lead. Jason Schmidt has lost 3 games this year, 3 or 4, and the Padres have beaten him twice. David Wells is on the mound for San Diego. One and two. Foul back. 4 runs, 8 hits for the Rockies. No runs, 3 hits for the Dodgers. Dallas Perez has allowed 3 home runs, a couple of singles, a double and a triple. And we're only in the 4th inning. Curveball. Sean Green at the other end of it. He'll do it himself. However, the Rockies still get 1 on the home run by Green. They leave 1, and at the end of 4, they're out in front, 4-0. 4-0 Colorado, top of the 5th inning. Strike. Aaron Cook, you can see his pitch count. Look at the 4th inning. He made 5 pitches. 2nd inning, he made only 8. In contrast to a struggling Dallas Perez. 1-1. Dallas made 26 pitches in the 1st inning, 23 in the 2nd, 18 in the 3rd, and 16 in the 4th. Fouled away. And of course, it was a nice little note, but it really jumps out at you now in talking about Aaron Cook. He has not allowed a home run in his last 4 starts. He's allowed 1 in his last 7 starts. 2-2. So Dallas Perez has allowed 3 in 4 innings. Aaron Cook has allowed 5 this year. Foul ball. Still 2-2 the count. Tim Wallach watching Alex Cora. Looking up Aaron Cook. In his career at the big league level, he has only allowed 17 home runs in his career. Foul back. So you talk about a little known right-hander who is certainly on the verge of getting a lot of ink. The name is Aaron Cook. He's out of Fort Campbell, Kentucky, lives in Loveland, Ohio. Went to school at Hamilton, Ohio. Fly ball to center. Burnitz. For the Dodgers, a fly ball has become an accomplishment. 1 out. You know, the Dodgers host the Phillies Sunday, August 8th at 1:10. All kids 14 and under in attendance receive a free Dodger lunchbox, compliments of Farmer John. So visit Dodgers.com or call 323-2241-HIT for tickets. So the Dodgers have their hands full with Aaron Cook. Dallas, a ground ball to Helton. He'll do it himself. 2 down. So 2 out in the 5th, and Cesar Torres will be coming up. Cesar Torres has walked and singled, 1 for 1. Dodgers only have 3 hits. Torres singled to center. Worth hit a ground ball up the middle, if you weren't with us, and Gonzalez and Clayton collided. So Worth got a base hit, and Bradley singled to left, and that's it. One other ball that was hit hard. Sean Green hit a line drive to left in the 4th inning, but right at Matt Holliday. 1-0. 2-0. Dodgers watching a fine young pitcher out there. That's a strike. 2-1. You really have to hand it to a fella. I mean, 5 years in Class A. You've got to love it. Ball 3. His only walk was as Torres in the 1st inning. And now it's also his 2nd walk. So the Dodgers, with they've had a runner on in every inning but the 2nd, and they've not been able to do anything. And the batter, Jason Worth. Jason Worth struck out and then hit that ground ball up the middle, and a hustling Luis Gonzalez went beyond the line at second base, crashed into Royce Clayton, and they were both shaken up. Whoops, there goes his Torres. What a jump. Oh my goodness. I mean, Aaron Cook never even looked over at him, and Cesar steals it, his 15th stolen base. The Cook so intent he never even saw it. There was no chance for even Gonzalez to cover or for Green to throw. Now that's a stolen base. Right. 1-1. Jason batting .291. One and 1. Ball 2. So Cesar Torres at second. He would be the second Dodger to get to second, and it's Cesar each time. That's a strike. Jason Worth has battled his way into a starting role, and you can understand why. In 23 previous starts, he's had 17 RBIs, 6 home runs, and hitting .309. 2-2. Fouled away. So big Jason at 6'5", facing Aaron Cook. They have a picture up on the Diamond Vision screen here of Jason Worth without the hair on the face. There he is. If you wonder what he looks like clean shaven, good looking guy. 2-2. And a little foul ball. Pretty good curveball. And Jason's hips were back in the Dodger dugout as he just kind of flicked at it. Though it's still 2-2. And Torres holding his ground at second with 2 out. 4-0 Rockies. Helton homered in the first. Burnett's homered with a man aboard in the second. And Green homered in the fourth. Ball 3. Closest thing to a rally, the Dodgers had 2 on with 2 out in the third inning against Cook, but he induced LaDuca to ground out. 3-2. Way over his head. So with 2 out, back-to-back walks. And LaDuca coming up. So Paulie now will have had 5 men on base in his 3 at-bats. Bob Apodaca going out to talk to Cook. LaDuca flied to right with his tourist at first in the first inning. Grounded out with 2 on in the third. And now up there with 2 on here in the fifth. So Apodaca talking to Cook about, you know how to handle LaDuca, and we'll see. LaDuca came into the game 4 for 11 against Cook. So now 4 for 13. After bragging, or at least showing you the minimum number of pitches Aaron Cook had made for 4 innings, well, that was the kiss of death. This will be his 22nd pitch in this inning. Foul ball, 0-1. LaDuca with 9 home runs, 47 runs batted in, and a .304 batting average. On deck, Adrian Beltre. Four runs, 8 hits for the Rockies. No runs, 3 hits for the Dodgers. Nice save by Todd Green, sinker in the dirt. 1-1. There it is, adding them all up for you. 39 pitches the first 4 innings, and as soon as we mention it, he's made 24 so far here in the fifth. 1-1. So throwing hard, 93, but out of the zone, and the count 2-1. So is Torres and Worth out on the lines. 2 out. And that's going to be a flare, and Gonzalez picks it off, and that's that. So the Dodgers lead 2, and at the end of 4.5 innings, it remains Rockies 4, 4-0 Colorado as we go to the bottom of the 5th inning. Vinny Castillo, Larry Walker, and Matt Holliday against Odalis Perez. Castillo 0 for 2, grounded out, and then popped up with a runner at third. With 84 runs batted in, you know he doesn't miss too many opportunities. 1 ball, no strikes. One and one. Odalis now just trying to hold that Tiger down 4-0 and hope his mates can hit their way back in. 1-1. Breaking ball, 1-2. Well, Dallas came in with a record of 4-3, 0-1 against Colorado, 5-3 lifetime. He has been very unlucky. Not tonight, but in his first 18 starts, 15 were decided by 2 runs or less, 10 were decided by 1, and 5 turned out to be extra inning games. 2-2. And a good sinking fastball, and that'll do it for Castilla. 1 away. Don't forget, your guests can be treated to baseball on an entirely new level in a Dodger Stadium suite, accommodating from 15 to 80 people, impeccable service, gourmet food in a unique setting. And for available dates, more information, give us a call, 323-224-1320. Good. Boy, I tell you what, Larry Walker seeing that pitch in his dreams, it'd be a nightmare. He has gotten those big curveballs down and away. That's about the 5th one he has chased. He's still looking for his first hit against O'Dallas. Isn't that amazing? I mean, that's a super player up there at the plate. And in his career, he is yet to get a hit. 0 for 14. And line to left. Worth is going to have to play it on a bounce. And there it is. And wouldn't you know, Walker does it on a no ball 2-strike count. The Dallas Perez, it's that kind of a night. He gives up a base hit. And Larry Walker, for the first time in his career, gets a base hit against Dallas Perez. So Matt Holliday, the young left fielder coming up, he singled and walked. Holliday 1 for 1, batting .292. I guess that's yet another reason why there were so many rumors about Preston Wilson and Larry Walker. They got to find somewhere to play this kid. 1 out, 5th inning, 4-0 Rockies. Ball 2. We told you that San Francisco leads San Diego 2-0. David Wells, Jason Schmidt. In that game, we understand Barry Bonds doubled in the 2 runs for the Giants. Good curveball. 2-1. Waiting his turn, Jeremy Burnitz, who has homered in 5 straight games, including tonight. 2-1 to Holliday. Ball 3. And the Giants have added another, taking a 3-0 lead. Three and 1. And missed with a fastball. So after striking out Castilla, and he had Larry Walker 0-2, he gives up a base hit and now a walk, and Kobe's going out there again. Since Jim Tracy has the bad back, you can watch another look at the home run by Jeremy Burnitz to left field. That was the one where Dallas threw his hands up in the air in disgust. But when Kobe goes to the mound, you're not really sure anymore if it's his first trip, because Tracy is just physically unable to go up the steps and go out to the mound. Jim has to spend the entire game standing up. So for the second time tonight, Giovanni Carrara begins to loosen up. One out. So Perez trying to get the outs, get out of the inning, and keep Carrara in the bullpen. Ball one. That's the way everyone seems to start Burnett. That's the way Ishii did last night, and that's the way Odalis does. You try to drive him off the plate, but sooner or later you have to throw a strike. Another one, but this one in for a strike. 1-1. Last night, Jeremy's home run went high up into right field. Tonight, the home run went to left field. 1-1. Curveball. 1-2. So he'll get a steady diet of those. You probably remember that Jeremy split last year with the Mets and then with the Dodgers, but he had a bad time with the Dodgers. He hit about, I don't know, 210, not much. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Giants have picked up a 4th run, though they are leading San Diego on David Wells 4-0, top of the 2nd inning. It's 4-0 here. Rockies, bottom of the 5th. Foul back. 1-2. Of course, Jeremy pays the price of being a long swinger. He has struck out as many times as 158 and 150. So now that he's made 100 pitches, Odalis would like to put him away with 2 strikes. He couldn't do it with Walker. And a high fly ball to left field. Back goes Worth. Away back. Leaps up. It's off the wall. And then it get by Bradley. 2 runs will score. Burnitz is at 3rd. It is 6-0 Colorado. So Jeremy Burnitz, who homered to left in the 2nd inning, hits a fastball the other way. Worth tried to the wall and get it, but couldn't do it. Slammed in. The ball got by Bradley momentarily. Both runs scored, Walker and Holiday. Jason Worth shaken up on that collision, not to mention how shaken up Odalis Perez is. Dodgers will make a double switch. Jason Grabowski will replace Jason Worth. Giovanni Carrara is coming in and will be back. Would bat in Jason Worth's spot, and for Giovanni, now in a 6-0 Rocky lead, he figures to be the guy the Dodgers are going to ask to give us some innings so we don't have to get back into the bullpen. For Odalis Perez, remember, Burnitz at 3rd is also his responsibility. So this has been the worst game of the year for Odalis. It figured here. He had given up 3 runs 3 or 4 times, 4 runs twice, but never 6. And he might be giving up 7 if Burnitz gets home. So Todd Green with the infield up. Green grounded out and homered. 0-1. Todd Green out of Augusta, Georgia. That's a nice play on words, Green and Augusta. Went to Georgia Southern University. Chased a bad ball. 0-2. Giovanni Carrara in his 9th game. He is 2-0 on an earned run average of 1.5. Picked up a victory in Houston. He was very fortunate to get off the hook. Still 0-2. Dodger bench has that lonely look, being shut out 6-0 in the 5th inning. Ball 1. After Green comes the pitcher, Aaron Cook. Todd Green, 33 years old. Green, in looking at his background, has played for the Angels, the Blue Jays, the Yankees, 2 years with the Rangers, and during his early days he always seemed to play on a winning team. His Little D team won in the World Series. His Dixie Pre-Majors World Series, they won. Dixie Majors, every year you look up as a kid, he was on a winner. Then at high school, his team won the state championship, and here he is in the big leagues. 1-2. So Giovanni Carrara trying to keep Jeremy Burnitz at third. I'm not sure. Oh, I see. He was going to blow on his hands, and he wanted to ask the umpire at the plate, could he do it? And then he backed off the mound not to take any chances. So this will be the 7th pitch to Todd Green. 1-2. After pitching, wow, Green might have hurt. Yeah, he did. On a fastball inside, I think he hurt his hamstring. Remember what happened to Mike Piazza, getting out of the way of a pitch and pulled the groin and was out for I don't know how long. Inside under the elbows, and as he turned, he grabbed the back of his leg. Take another look from this angle. Right there. The timeout for Todd Green. Clint Hurdle leaning on the bat, watching the veteran catcher. Of course, you know, catchers, awfully hard to get them out of a game. Of course, he's going to have to be bending the knees in a crouch for another 4 innings. So it's been kind of a shaky night for Colorado, even though the Dodgers are losing 6-0. Here the catcher hurts his leg getting away from a fastball, and he's going to have to come out. Royce Clayton and Luis Gonzalez had a collision behind second base. They almost lost their double play combination. So Charles Johnson, I assume, will be putting on the gear, and first of all looking for a helmet, and he will bat for Green, inheriting a 2-2 count. Take another look. It's amazing. Of course, Green, a veteran catcher, over 200 pounds, all muscle, and maybe a little too tight, and it caught. Boy, strange things can happen. Richie Sexson on a check swing wrecks his shoulder and is finished for the year. Andy Pettit on a check swing hurt his arm. He was out for a while. And here's a guy, all he did was try to get out of the way of a fastball and hurt himself. So Charles Johnson, who went all the way behind the plate last night, he had a scoring fly ball but went 0 for 4. Johnson is batting .260, and 6 years ago wore the livery of the Dodgers. Infield up, 1 out, 2-2. So Johnson strikes out. Burnett still at third. And the batter will be Aaron Cook. Aaron Cook singled to center and hit back to the box. Both of those at-bats were against Odalis Perez. Ground ball to Cora. So they wasted the triple by Burnitz, but they scored 2, and at the end of 5, 6-0. This is a tale, I guess, of 3 ballparks. On this night in 1959, the Dodgers won a ball game at the Coliseum 2-0. In 1966, Sandy Koufax and Jim Bunning won 11 innings, tied up 1-1. That was at Dodger Stadium. And 4 years ago on this day, the Dodgers played at Coors Field, and the Dodgers won 16-11. Interesting. 3 different parks, 3 different dates, and 3 completely different outcomes. Let's go back to this one. Charles Johnson puts on the gear to pick up for Todd Green. And the Dodgers trying to pick up. They're down 6-0 here in the 6th inning. And Johnson now trying to outwit Adrian Beltre. Strike. Adrian twice hit back to the box against that sinker of Aaron Cook. One and one. Beltre hitting .324. 28 home runs, 73 runs batted in the dirt. 2-1. So the veteran catcher Charles Johnson moving in to take over after Todd Green gets hurt. And the amazing story of Aaron Cook. Still has not allowed a home run, not just in this start. Bouncer up the middle, base hit. 4.5 starts he has made without giving up one. So Beltre going up the middle against a sinker baller is 1 for 3. And now Milton Bradley. Though Beltre has hit the ball in the same spot every time, so is Bradley going the other way. Milton grounded to short, single to left. Milton batting .289. See if he tries to go the other way again. Strike. One for 2 tonight. So 4 for 6 so far in the series. Sean Green on deck. Whoa. 1-1. That's a tough pitch. You're expecting sinkers and you've been going the other way, and then all of a sudden the pitch looks like it's going to cut you in half. 1-1. 6-0 Rockies. Meanwhile, the Dodgers have had at least one man on base in every inning but the second. Two and one. So he's changing the way he's pitching to Bradley after keeping the ball down and away. Now trying to turn it around completely, and maybe it's Charles Johnson calling a different game. 2-1 the count. And instead he does go the other way again, but Holiday makes the catch. Beltre returns to first, 1 out, and Sean Green the batter. Green has tried to go the other way against the sinker baller. Grounded out to Vinny Castilla, who plays him really at the shortstop hole. And then last time up, he lined out to Holiday, who plays him closer to the left field foul line. Oh, and 1. Little chopper to Heldon on the bag. A tag by Clayton required, and it's a double play. So the double play is 3-6. With Beltre erased, the Dodgers are done, and at the end of 5.5 innings. 6-0 Colorado. And as we go to the bottom of the 6th inning, Aaron Miles finishing up at second base. Luis Gonzalez, remember, in that collision with Clayton, and apparently a bruised knee or whatever, and so Miles finishes up and he takes a strike. Aaron Miles out of Pittsburgh, California, lives in Antioch, picked by the Astros 9 years ago and hitting .300 for Colorado. Aaron Miles last night had a 13-game hitting streak snap. He went 0 for 4 and did sacrifice once. One ball, one strike. On the corner, 1-2. Giovanni Carrara picking up the pieces for Odalis Perez, who made 101 pitches and gave up 6 runs and 10 hits. And I mean, he gave them up. 3 home runs, a double, 2 triples. Chopper to Green, underhanding to Carrara. 1 away. Say, a reminder, the Sports List is the new show that counts down the 10 best and worst of everything and anything in sports. Tonight, find out what were the best baseball postseason moments. The Sports List with host Summer Sanders tonight after the game only on FSN West 2. Royce Clayton, who survived the collision with Gonzalez, grounded out, fly to center, lined out to left. Ball 1 to Royce. Clayton has had a wonderful career, first coming up to the big leagues in 1991. Chopper to the hole, knocked down, but that's about all. Once his Turris left his feet, he was not going to get Clayton. So Royce is 1 for 4 on the base hit. That is hit number 1, or Giovanni, and it brings up Helton again. Well, we told you that Todd Helton wore out Odalis Perez, and he lived up to that billing. Helton against Carrara, 3 for 7. That's a .429 batting average and a home run. And a drive to left. Grabowski has a play. So 2 down. Clayton back to first, and the batter will be Vinny Castilla. By the way, San Diego picked up a run, and the Giants are leading 4-1, and I believe they're still in the bottom of the 2nd inning. Of course, that game started an hour later than ours. Vinny Castilla grounded to second, popped up with a runner at third, and struck out. So he is not a happy camper. Hitting .280. Clayton at first, held on by Green, 2 out. Ball 1. And ball 2. Vinny with 22 home runs, 84 runs batted in. That would put him second behind Scott Rowland, who starting today had 89. 2-0. They're watching Clayton. And a drive to left. Grabowski has to chase this one and can't get it. Here comes Clayton around third to score. And into second base goes Castilla. He now has 85 runs batted in. It is 7-0 Colorado. The fastball at the knees. Then he drives it to left center. And Grabowski unable to catch up to it. Also with that base hit, Castilla has now hit in 10 straight. .32 doubles for Vinny Castilla. Not bad for a 37-year-old. And now here comes Larry Walker. 38. Ball one. Larry tonight struck out twice on the same pitch, curveballs, and then with 2 strikes in the 5th inning got a fastball and single to left field. Strike. 1-1. So Castilla at second, having just knocked in his 85th run. On deck, Matt Holliday. 1-1. Ball 2. Larry batting .337. Highest batting average he ever had for the Rockies, .379 5 years ago. Foul back. I don't know if he still has him or not, but Larry Walker decided to spend a lot of money, and he hired a chef, not only a chef, a nutritional expert, to help keep the motor running, and it's done very well. In a wild game, we have deuces wild. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out, a runner at second. And he strikes out a 3rd time. He's unhappy. Carrara walks away relieved, but he still gave up a run, and it's 7-0 Rockies. Seven to nothing Rockies, and Juan Encarnacion with a pitch at the head, ball 1. He has grounded out and hit into a force play. 7 runs, 12 hits for the Rockies, nothing for the Dodgers. It's been Colorado ever since the 1st inning when Todd Helton hit a home run. For Jim Tracy, an agonizing time, but at least he's able to sit down. First 5 innings or so, poor Jim had to be standing. A flare to right over the head of Miles, and a base hit for Encarnacion. So the Dodgers have had at least 1 man on base in every inning but the 2nd. But they have been thoroughly shut out. And here's Cora. A little surprising to see Cook throw that first pitch almost at Encarnacion's head, because his first pitch strike has been great. 17 out of 25. He has started off with a strike. like that. Dodgers have left 7 in their 6 innings, and they're trailing 7-0. They've gone to the 3rd inning at Petco in San Diego. Giants 4, Padres 2. 1-1. Jason Schmidt and David Wells in that one. Jason Grabowski hitting 9th, remember, on deck. That's hit to center, but it's carrying right to the glove of Jeremy Burnett. Sakura lines out to center, 1 away, and here's Grabowski. Down in the Dodger bullpen, Tom Martin begins to loosen up. Jason Grabowski batting .250. Half a dozen home runs, 17 runs batted in. This is his first appearance. Finishing up for Jason Worth in that double switch. Strike. 0-1. That's been the pattern. A very aggressive young Aaron Cook going after the hitters. First pitch strike. Dodgers not able to do anything with him so far. Cesar Azturis on deck has been on base 3 times. Ground ball to Castilla. He has to wait for Miles, who then turns it to Helton. That was quite a play by Aaron Miles. With the left-hand hitter up, he was way over in the hole. And even though Castilla had to wait and Encarnacion was running hard, he turned it. And it's 7-0 in favor of Colorado. Matt Holliday in the box, but Giovanni Carrara turned his back for the moment. Here is a big league double play. Castilla to Miles, and Miles, with a left-hand hitter who can run well, was still able to turn it. That was quite a play. Matt Holliday, ball 1. Holliday has singled and walked twice. Breaking ball. 2-0. Rockies scored 1 in the first, 2 in the second, 1 in the fourth, 2 in the fifth, 1 in the sixth, and the Dodgers have not been heard from, despite the fact getting a man on base in 6 of their 7 innings. Look out for that foul ball, and the count 2-1. Giovanni Carrara is due to bat second in the 8th inning, so that's a decision. You're down 7-0. You want to save your bullpen. Do you hit for him, or do you just leave him in and try to get some outs? He's been in there since the 5th inning and gives up a base hit. So Matt Holliday is 2 for 2. And Jeremy Burnett's coming up. Say, be sure to join us tonight at 10 for highlights of all of today's sports action. We present the Southern California Sports Report. Complete Dodger coverage and a lot more. The Southern California Sports Report, that'll be tonight at 10. Jeremy Burnett had really put the slug on the Dodgers tonight. Foul back. When the Dodgers took the field tonight, they were indeed on a Rocky Mountain high, and Jeremy has pushed them over the edge. He had a 2-run home run in the 2nd inning and tripled in 2 in the 5th. The Burnett's with 4 runs batted in, leading the way for Colorado. Jeremy batting .300, 25 home runs, 75 runs batted in. Right. Jeremy Burnett's facing Carrara is very close to equaling the RBIs he had all last year with the Mets and Dodgers. He had 77. Well, as he says, good hitting here, and he's got 75. Right. So Jeremy, who had struck out in the 3rd inning, strikes out again in the 7th. So Burnett has struck out twice. Walker has struck out 3 times, and the Rockies are leading 7-0. And here is Charles Johnson, forced to finish up for Todd Green, who apparently pulled a hamstring trying to get out of the way of a fastball in the 5th inning. Ball 1. Two and a third innings turned in so far for Giovanni Carrara. So somebody had to do it, and he got the call. 1 ball and no strikes. Ball 2. When the Dodgers bat in the 8th is Turris, then Carrara's spot, and LaDuca. Johnson batting .258, 11 home runs, 40 runs batted in. Check swing, strike. 2-1. Fouled away that fastball, and the count 2-2. Johnson 10 RBIs in his last 15 games. Came off the bench and struck out. Two and 2. Aaron Cook, the pitcher, on deck. Off the plate. Full count, 1 down. Holiday, short lead at first. Pitcher to follow. Oh, a changeup way off the zone. 67 miles an hour, but it wasn't close. So first and second, 1 out. And here goes Jim Coburn again. There is no one throwing in the Dodger bullpen. Although Tom Martin threw earlier, ideally, I guess the Dodgers would like to be able to get Carrara through this inning and then bat for him. One thing Kobe wants to do is organize the infield in the event of a bunt. And Cook isn't a bad hitter. Singled, hit back to the box, grounded out, and now Tom Martin will get ready. Aaron Miles, the second baseman finishing for Gonzalez, is a left-handed batter, and he's on deck. Dodgers wondering, would he bunt, leading 7-0, and they get the answer yes. Carrara has a play at third. So with all of that, they get Holiday on the bunt attempt by Aaron Cook. That's the second out. Nice play by Carrara, getting it over to Beltre. And with 2 out, Aaron Miles. The report on Todd Green is just what you would expect. Remember the catcher jumping away from a fastball. and grabbed high up just below the buttocks. Well, he has a strained left hamstring, and he is listed day to day. Here is Aaron Miles, grounded out to Sean Green in the 6th inning, 0 for 1. Miles batting .305. Ball 1. So Carrara, no doubt, having to push himself a little bit here. He's made 38 pitches in relief. One ball, no strikes to Miles. And a fly ball to right field. Going back is Carnacion, but he has a play. And that'll do it. So no runs, 1 hit, 2 left. And at the end of 7, 7-0 Colorado. It's all Rockies so far, and the way he's pitching, the Dodgers will definitely be cooked. He has allowed 5 hits, no runs, and has just been in strong command. Even though the Dodgers get a couple of men on base in just about every inning, he has got such hitting support from Jeremy Burnett, who has homered in 5 straight, tripled, and has 4 RBIs, and Todd Helton with a home run and a triple. So the Dodgers unable to answer back. Cesar Izturis, then Dave Roberts to bat for Carrara, and LaDuca. Cesar Izturis has walked twice, singled, and stolen a base. He's the only Dodger to get to second base tonight, and he's done that twice. Breaking ball, ball 1. Izturis hitting .299. Right, 1-1. Aaron Cook has walked 3. Izturis twice, and he also walked Jason Worth. 1 ball, 1 strike. 1-2. Giants leading San Diego 4-2, and they're now in the 4th inning. So a Dodger loss and a Giant victory, then the Giants and the Padres will each be 3.5 back again. Fly ball to left field. Holiday has to go back to get it. Boy, they really carry. So they get Izturis, 1 away, and now Dave Roberts, who came up last night and walked as a pinch hitter, now coming up to bat for Carrara. Dave Roberts hitting .246. He has only had 3 at-bats as a pinch hitter, and he's 1 for 3. Dave, 32 stolen bases out of 33, but that certainly doesn't figure to be applied to this game. Not with the Dodgers trailing 7-0. We're in the 8th. Aaron Cook has now made 89 pitches, and he's had a couple of very, very easy innings. 1-1. Cook had a 5-pitch inning in the 4th, an 8-pitch inning in the 7th. In fact, he had 1 rocky inning, no pun intended. He made 25 pitches, and that was in the 5th inning. Even then, with 2 walks, he got out of the inning. Aaron is trying to get above 500. He'd be 5-4 with a win. It would be his first victory here. He's 0-4 at home. You'd never know it watching him pitch. Ball 3. For the Rockies, a victory tonight would mean that they continue to give the Dodgers a bad time. They will have split their 10 meetings. The one club to hold its own with the Dodgers in the West. Dodgers beat Arizona 11 out of 13. The Giants 7 out of 13. San Diego 6 out of 9. 3-1. Strike. Paul LaDuca waiting on deck. Fouled away. Scramble over the foul. Ah, there he is. He got it. LaDuca turning to say something to him. 3-2 the count to Dave Roberts. And he's aboard. So Dave has made 2 appearances so far in the series, and he has walked each time. And now LaDuca. For Paul, it's been a frustrating night. He is not only 0 for 3, he has had 5 base runners on, and he has failed to advance any of them. So now he has a 6th base runner in Roberts. Paul batting .303. And drive to right, going back is Walker, and this one is going to be gone. Walker thought it might hit the scoreboard. So LaDuca gets it up into the seats. The Dodgers get 2 and trail 7-2. Though each time Paul kept coming up with people on and couldn't do anything, and this time he hits it out. Walker was sure that was going to be a carom off the scoreboard. Though it even surprised the veteran right fielder, who has certainly seen enough balls hit in the air to right. Also on this home run by LaDuca, that's the end of the home runless streak for Aaron Cook. And that one's going foul, out of play. So LaDuca hits his 10th. The Dodgers get 2, but they're still down 7-2. So 4.5 starts for Aaron Cook before he surrenders a home run. Only the 2nd home run he's allowed in 8 starts. Only the 6th home run that he's allowed this year. He could be tiring. He has averaged exactly 6 innings a game. Scott Doman begins to throw back of him. Tom Martin is throwing in the Dodger pen. 1 ball and 1 strike to Beltre. He hit 2 balls back to the box, and the 3rd one he hit up the middle for a base hit. Foul back. 1-2 to Adrian. Dodgers overwhelmed by Colorado firepower tonight. 3 home runs, 2 triples, a double, and quite a few singles. Dodgers 1 extra base hit, the home run by LaDuca. 1-2. Fouled away. So Adrian Beltre batting .326. 28 home runs, 73 runs batted in. Vinny Castilla is ahead of him in RBIs with 85. He was tied with Louis Pujols at the start of the day with 73. And hammers at the left, base hit. Looked like a high off speed, maybe breaking ball, and Adrian was not about to let that get by. So Beltre is 2 for 4, and young Cook now has reached exactly 100 pitches, and the batter will be Milton Bradley. Bradley grounded out, singled, and flied to left. 1 for 3. Ground foul, 0-1. On deck, Sean Green. One out here in the 8th. Fly ball by Asturias. Then the walk to Roberts, the home run to LaDuca, and the single by Beltre. Off the plate, 1-1. Sean Green 0 for 3, hit 1 ball hard, but right at Matt Holliday in left field. Change, almost threw it away. 2-1. We had mentioned coming in, he averaged exactly 6 innings a start. So here he is in the 8th, over 100 pitches, and you got to believe he's getting a little tired. Ball 3. So Aaron Cook struggling a little bit here. And line drive, base hit. That was a fastball, and it was 92, but obviously it didn't have the movement that his pitches have had earlier. So in the inning, he's given up a walk, a home run, singles, and here comes Clint Hurdle. And we'll see if he wants to bring in Scott Doman. Yep. So the Rockies will go to the bullpen. Aaron Cook will come out, and we'll be right back. So the Rockies have done it all, and the Dodgers trying to make a late flurry here in the 8th inning with 1 out. Scott Doman out of New Orleans lives in Morgan City, Louisiana. He was drafted by the Rockies 4 years ago out of the University of Louisiana Lafayette. He had always been a starting pitcher, and they've converted him to reliever, and he's been throwing harder since he's been in relief, facing Shawn Green. In fact, Scott Doman said one thing that has helped his development is to forget about hitter recognition. In other words, he's not going to be overpowered by the thought of Shawn Green. Foul back. As Scott said, all I want to do is concentrate on the catcher's mitt. His fastball been clocked anywhere from 91 to 96. Has a slider and a changeup. 0-1 to Shawn. Fouled away. 0-2. No balls, 2 strikes. The Dodgers with 2 on. Beltre at second and Bradley at first. LaDuca homered with Roberts aboard for the only Dodger runs. 0-2. And fouled on his foot. Timeout. Still 0-2. Shawn batting .258, 14 home runs. Pitch had pretty good movement at the last minute, kind of almost like a cutter. Suddenly came in on him. 0-2. Boy, they would all give a lot of money for late movement on the pitch. 0-2. Over the top. Did he swing? Yes. The Bruce Dreckman rings him up. Shawn strikes out to go 0 for 4. And the batter now will be Juan Encarnacion. That was the amazing thing about Aaron Cook. He let you hit it. Cook only struck out 1. So it means that's only the second Dodger to go down on strikes. And normally when you hit the ball in this ballpark, you get some runs. Ball 1. Encarnacion grounded to short, hit into a force play, single to right. Hitting .237, 13 home runs, and trying to pick up a couple of RBIs. He has 43. Ground foul. 1 ball, 1 strike. So Beltre back to second. Bradley back to first. 2 out. 8th inning. 7-2 Rockies. They're in the 5th inning in San Diego. Giants 4, San Diego 2. After a lengthy 2nd inning, that game has started to pick up a bit. 1-1. 2-1. And Dorman hits 93 on that one. He's 6'1", 185, 26 years old. Just recently called up. He's got 23 innings under his belt. Ball 3. On deck, Alex Cora. Three and 1 to Encarnacion. If you're thinking about it, Doman in 23 innings has allowed 3 home runs. Boy, I tell you, Encarnacion was trying to make it 4. That was from the heels. Full count, 2 down, so the runners go. Beltre and Bradley. Little foul out of play. One thing Doman has done since being called up to the big leagues, he has a pretty good ratio. A young reliever, a little better than 2-1. Strikeouts and walks. 21 strikeouts and 9 walks. Of course, that's what makes Gagne incredible. Walks to ratio. Wow. 3-2. Runners go. Foul back. Gagne, his ratio, strikeouts to walks, is 7-1. 70 strikeouts and 10 walks. Boy. Tonight, Eric just sitting back, taking things easy, talking to David Ross. All right, 3-2. 7-2 Rockies, 8th inning, 2 out. Down he goes. So that was a big pitch, the off-speed pitch by Scott Dorman for a rookie to throw a 3-2 change, and it's 7-2. 7-2 Colorado. As we go to the bottom of the 8th inning, Tom Martin will be pitching to Royce Clayton, Todd Helton, and Vinny Castilla, and if anybody gets on, Larry Walker. Tom has really struggled. The Dodgers hoping he will find himself. And that's a little soft one right to Cora, 1 out. Tom Martin 0-1, an earned run average over 4. And one of the things you can put your finger on with Martin is that strikeout to walk ratio. He's just fighting to balance his books. He has 18 strikeouts and 14 walks. Strike. Also for Martin to come in 27 innings, allowing 30 hits. And now facing Todd Helton, who has homered and tripled, grounded out and flied to left. 1 ball, 1 strike. When the Dodgers bat in the 9th, they have Cora, Grabowski, and Disturis, and then Martin spot. Ball 2. That curveball at 75. though he's behind 3-1. Vinny Castillo waiting his turn on deck. Helton is 3 for 12 with a home run against Martin. And a high fly ball. He got under it. And Grabowski is there. 2 down. Say, don't forget, one of the best deals in baseball, the Dodgers Adelphia Summer 6-pack. For $30, you can receive a ticket to 6 key matchups this summer. See the Dodgers play the Phillies, the Braves, the Marlins, and the Giants. So for more information and tickets, visit the Dodgers website at Dodgers.com. So Martin gets Helton to fly out for the 2nd out. And now here is Vinny Castillo. And a base hit just off the fingertips of Cora's glove. So Castillo, when he doubled in the 6th inning, extended his streak. He is hit in 10 straight. And he winds up 2 for 5. And the batter now is Larry Walker. Larry's had a tough night, but no matter how good you are, you're going to have those nights. He has struck out 3 times, had a no ball 2 strike count on him, and single to left field. Otherwise, he might have gone down 4. Whoa. 0-1. The curveball down and away from the left-handers, giving him a bad time, but Martin started him with a high fastball. 0-1. 7-2 Rockies, bottom of the 8th. Another fastball. Each one 90 miles an hour. The crowd asked to make some noise. 27,934. Breaking ball whacked into right field. Base hit. Vinny Castillo on his way to 3rd. Encarnacion overthrows Cora, but Green is ready to get it back in. So Larry Walker has had a lot of trouble with the curveball. Probably bangs a fastball into right field. Takes 2nd as Encarnacion had to go all the way to the corner of the wall. So runners at 2nd and 3rd. Walker now winds up 2 for 5. And with first base open, Matt Holliday. Matt Holliday, the left fielder, has 2 singles and 2 walks. He has scored twice, hitting .295. So Martin got the first 2 outs. Now runners at 2nd and 3rd. Now back. Oh and 1. Seven runs, 15 hits for the Rockies. 2 runs, 8 hits for the Dodgers. 0-1. Fastball, little foul off first. Green has a play, and that's it. So Holliday fouls out. Rockies leave runners at 2nd and 3rd, and we're heading for the 9th. 7-2 Colorado. 7-2 in favor of Colorado. Sitting dead in the middle of your screen is Aaron Cook, who's been center all night. He indeed the player of the game. 7 1/3 innings, allowing only 2 earned runs at Coors Field. You are indeed toiling a gem. And he did have a string broken when he gave up the home run to Paul LaDuca. So Scott Doman now working to Alex Cora. 9th inning, 7-2 Colorado. Strike. Cora grounded to short, fly to center, and lined out to center, hitting .296. Tomorrow night, Jose Lima against Jeff Fassero. For Lima, a rather unenviable task going to the mound here, when you realize that Odalis Perez gave up 3 home runs in less than 4 innings. And Jose Lima leads the Dodgers staff in 18 home runs allowed. But he'll be in the thick of it tomorrow night. 2-2. Scott Doman. Cora goes down on the breaking ball. That is 3 consecutive strikeouts for Scott Doman. He came in with 2 on and 1 out, struck out Sean Green, then struck out Encarnacion. Now begins the 9th by striking out Cora. And the batter, Jason Grabowski. Little ground ball to Miles. Makes the play. Nice play by Aaron Miles. And for Scott Doman, he's from the Big Easy, New Orleans, and he's making it look easy right now. With 2 outs, Cesar Izturis checking in. But it has been a Colorado night ever since the first inning when Todd Helton hit a home run. And for Odalis Perez, it went downhill from there. Odalis is going to be 4-4, 0-2 against the Rockies, and 5-4 lifetime. Izturis keeps it alive with a base hit to center. So Izturis on base 4 times with 2 hits and 2 walks. And now Robin Ventura is going to be coming up. And for Robin Ventura, this is the place. He has the highest career batting average all time against the Rockies. 410 as opposed to Joyner, Steins, Conine, and Sanders. That's a strike. On 1. Robin can't believe it. Takes a double look at Bruce Dreckman. Whoa. On 1. Ventura's 30th pinch hit appearance. He has 8 hits, including a home run, 5 runs batted in. Little dribbler foul. So he's up there now with the count 0-2. The 27,934. Many of them get up now. They want Doman to finish it off. Scott has 2 out and Izturis at first base. 0-2. Ball 1. On deck, Paul LaDuca, who homered in the 8th inning with Roberts aboard to account for the only 2 Dodger runs. Two and 2. Sean Chacon is the closer for Colorado. He has 22 saves. This is not the kind of a game where you would see Chacon, nor would you see Gagne, who has 29. Little foul out of play, so Robin is still there. In San Diego, the Giants have opened it up now. They're leading San Diego 6-2 in the 6th inning. So it figures Giants Padres will each be 3.5 games back. Three and 2 to Robin Ventura. On deck, LaDuca. 7-2 Rockies, 2 out in the 9th. And that's ball 4. So the Dodgers have used 2 pinch hitters, Roberts and Ventura, and they have each walked. And now Bob Apodaca is going out to talk to Scott Doman, with Paul Lo Duca coming up. So Ventura did nothing to diminish his best batting average here, .410. Sean Chacon, who didn't figure to even stand up, is beginning to throw in the Rockies bullpen. They've seen too many leads disappear in a hurry here. So there's Sean. Meanwhile, Paul Lo Duca, every time he has come up tonight, there have been men on base. He's had 8 men on base tonight, and he homered with 1 on in the 8th inning. Strike. 0-1. So after striking out 3 in a row and getting Grabowski, he gave up a single to his tourists and the walk to Ventura. Lo Duca hitting .305. Fouled away. 0-2 to Paul. Adrian Beltre on deck. And again, the crowd of almost 28,000 on their feet. 0-2. And another foul ball. So Doman has had to work. He's made 29 pitches. And Adrian Beltre waits. 7 runs, 15 hits for the Rockies. 2 runs, 9 hits for the Dodgers. Another foul ball. Pretty good fastball. That was 93, and Lo Duca really fighting it off. It wasn't so much of a swing as a protective poke. Jim Tracy back to standing up again. Pretty hard for him to get comfortable no matter what with that bad back. 0-2. One and 2. Slider in the dirt. Nice save by Charles Johnson. Veteran taking over for Todd Green in the middle of the game. 1-2 to Lo Duca. Two and 2, and another nice save by Johnson. 92-mile-an-hour fastball. So Doman is throwing hard. He's pushing it, though. He's made 32 pitches now. Ground ball to Clayton. Force play to Miles. That'll do it. So Aaron Cook gets his 5th win of the year, and deservedly so. A strong 7 1/3. He beats the Dodgers for the 2nd time. He's lost to them once. Odalis Perez was pounded for 4 1/3 innings for 6 runs and 10 hits. This one is in the books. Tomorrow night, same time, same station. Jose Lima and Jeff Facero. Once again, the final score: Rockies 7, Dodgers 2. For Ross Porter and Rick Monday, this is Vin Scully saying so long from Denver. For Dodger postgame coverage and all the day